Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? It's me, Mr. B. My hair growing out, getting creepy. Look, I'm in my wife's office, okay? I like sitting outside doing things, but it's just a little bit too chilly to be sitting out there. Yeah, I'm in my wife's office. Got the circle light here. I don't need it. I don't need it. I already look good. I don't need a bunch of lighting. Feel me? Look, this is an original piece that I wrote. Since we're in sea exploration and we're the age of exploration, let's compare guys like Columbus and those ones that we've been learning about to our modern day explorers that are exploring space. There's a lot of similarities. You think about it. Finding North America was a lot like discovering the moon in the 60s. Or not, I mean, landing on the moon. I mean, it was a foreign world. And so I wrote this piece for y'all. Now, this is the assignment for Monday, okay? We're going to read the first 4 paragraphs. I'm going to read it to you. And you've got the questions there on the right. And I was going over this to make sure that it worked. And the way that you do this, you download the document, you go to enable editing, that'll be like right here somewhere, you click on that. And when you want to answer the question, I'm pointing to the screen like you can see. If you want to answer the questions here, you go to insert, shapes, get you a circle, excuse me, like that right there. See, it's that simple. And I'll know which one you're picking. And then you can type the text box or the text boxes there. You can just type your answer right in. Okay, so let's do this thing. I'm going to read it to you. If you don't want me to read it to you, you want to do it on your own, hey, you do you. You can stop watching the video, and because I'm that way, I like to read on my own. Sometimes I like audio books, but some of y'all may want me to read this, read along with me. Okay, so here we go. In March of 2016, Scott Kelly completed a nearly year-long mission on the International Space Station. This space exploration mission has been the longest time any U.S. astronaut has been in outer space. Although they were not in a space station orbiting the Earth, historical explorers such as Marco Polo, Bartolomeo Diaz, Vasco da Gama, Ferdinand Magellan, and Christopher Columbus would spend up to 3 to 4 years exploring new territory and otherworldly lands. Spending 340 days in space without gravity could affect a person's vision and bones, but Kelly said that physically he feels pretty good. Quote, I could go on for another 100 days or 100 years, end quote. The astronaut said during this last briefing with reporters from orbit, which was quoted in the astronaut Scott Kelly is home. Likewise, explorers during the years 1300 to 1600 would be affected by sicknesses such as malaria, dysentery, scurvy, and smallpox. When humans are exposed to conditions their bodies aren't accustomed to, whether that be in outer space or undiscovered lands, they are more susceptible to diseases. Amen. That's what we're going through right now. So let's see if we've got anything to answer. The main idea of paragraph 1 can be best summarized as giving information about Scott Kelly, comparing space exploration to historic explorers, giving information about historic explorers, comparing new space territory to new lands. Well, that's pretty simple, isn't it? Another transition word that could best replace likewise in paragraph 2 would be similarly, thus, however, contrastingly. Okay, let you think about that. If you're doing this with your parents, you can talk about it. I like you to think about the literature. I like to think about the grammar, not just the content, but you put those two together and you've got a masterpiece. Amen. So, all right, third paragraph here. Even though Scott Kelly felt physically healthy, he admitted that the long stay had also been lonely. Boy, we're dealing with that right now. We're dealing with that right now. We're lonely. We need each other. We know this. So he says the hardest part is being isolated from people on the ground who are important to you. He said, again quoted, astronaut is home. Though he was lonely, he gained much needed knowledge of how the human body endures in space. Interestingly, his twin brother served as the control for the experiment while living on Earth. Now let me stop there for just a second. Scott has a brother named Mark. They're twins, identical twins. This was necessary for this test. They wanted to see how long Scott could stay in space, and then they wanted to bring him back to Earth and compare his vitals to Mark, who had been here on Earth. And I think we talked about this in class, right? Stay tuned. So when early explorers set sail, they too had to leave behind their family members and friends, but they felt that the thrill of discovering new lands and gaining new riches outweighed the sacrifice they had to make. So they both had to leave people behind, and they became isolated. The space veteran, we're talking about Kelly here, said he had witnessed some of the most amazing scenes while orbiting Earth 16 times a day for 340 days. That space station goes around the Earth 16 times a day. It's traveling at, you ready for this, 17,000 miles per hour. You see 8 sunsets and 8 sunrises a day. Isn't that pretty cool? So this totals more than 5,000 orbits, like spotting the northern lights, passing over the Bahamas, and watching huge storms like Hurricane Patricia. Like Kelly, when the explorers of the early exploration age landed in new lands, they too saw landscapes that had never been viewed before. Amerigo Vespucci writes, it is lawful to call it a new world, because none of these countries were known to our ancestors, and to all who hear about them, they will be entirely new. Amerigo Vespucci said this is a new world, as we haven't been here before. That was quoted in Early America's Digital Archive. Vespucci uses the description, quote unquote, new world, because the explorers of this time period, it really was akin to landing on a completely new planet, even though some of them, like Columbus, thought that they were in Asia. All right, so the next two questions there. 3 is the main idea of paragraph 3 can be explained as A, though Scott Kelly was healthy, he felt lonely. B, though early explorers were lonely, they found exploration exciting. C, though historic and modern day explorers experienced loneliness, they had a greater purpose. D, though historic and modern day explorers experienced loneliness, they got over it. Number 4, based on your geography, where would be a place you could visit that you would feel akin to landing on a completely new planet? And describe how you would feel seeing this place for the first time. So there's Monday's assignment. Monday, April 4th. You've got the reading there. Just answer the questions. Go back over this. You have the document. And on Tuesday, we're going to do this. We're going to do the second document. Okay, so that'll be the next video. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, and I'll be right on it. Have a good day, guys.